Welcome, and thank you for joining us for part 3 of the STCR podcast covering the benefits of self-service solutions amid the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Farrell McKenna, STCR General Manager, and I will now hand it over to our panel to continue the conversation.
Well, let's switch gears on some of the questions. So you have self-checkout. You guys have all gave the benefits of why it's important, especially now more than ever. But talk about the shopper assistant, right? So you have an associate there. We usually like to say one associate can handle up to 6 lanes, self-checkout lanes at a time. We've seen that stretched even beyond that, obviously. But what are some of the role changes that you had to make with the shopper assistant covering self-checkout during the COVID-19 situation? What are some of the extra things they may be doing today that they weren't doing, let's say, in February at the self-checkout area? So let's start with, Frankie, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, so for me, this is actually a kind of a difficult question to answer. I don't have too many self-checkouts, but I do always have someone staff to view them. During the pandemic, I actually had to get away from that due to the staff shortages, and I had to change the security settings on the self-checkout, which were very simple to change. But I changed those settings and I left them unmanned. Because everybody that was in the store, every staff member that was in the store, like Alex said, had to be rerouted to a more critical thing. I was packing out produce. I haven't packed out a case of anything in years before this. So I couldn't afford to have somebody standing there watching those systems as we usually do. So changing that security setting and leaving it unmanned helped reroute that employee that would be there pretty much just watching and to do more critical items. Sure, there might have been some shrinkage that passed through on that, I'm sure, but it was at the point that it was pretty much anything we could do, we were getting done at full emergency type of process. So it's a little difficult for me to say really on that question.
Okay. All right. Super. Roseanne, how about on your side? What are some of the things your shopper assistant changes responsibility occurred with this?
So what we did was the attendant, we always keep one line for all self-checkouts. So we've always had that. We enforce social distancing, of course. We put down some placemats and stuff just so that where people line up. But what we did have our attendants do is we have them wiping down each lane as customers are leaving. So as soon as the self-checkout opens up, they walk over, they have alcohol-soaked paper towels, they just give it a quick wipe down, give a wipe down to the keypad on the credit card terminal, and then they call over the next customer in line. We found that was the best, most efficient way to do it. The customers feel comfortable touching the self-checkouts after someone has left, and it really worked for us. And my stores have 11 machines in the Avenue A store and then 9 machines in the other stores, to give you an idea.
Good feedback. Excellent. Alex, how about on your side? What are you guys doing different with shopper fulfillment?
Well, obviously during this pandemic, the self-checkout attendant as well as the customers don't want that interaction. So it was kind of difficult in the sense that we kind of had to keep the self-checkout attendant away. And like Frankie said as well, there was times where we had to leave them unmanned because we just didn't have the staff to have someone standing there. But and again, Roseanne had a great point as well. Just making that customer feel comfortable because they're seeing people touching, right, the touch screens and the pin pads. They were hesitant, I noticed at first, because obviously no one wanted to touch what another person had just touched because of COVID-19. So wiping them down also helped the perception of allowing that customer to feel safe, that they can go into that space and they can use those self-checkouts. But yeah, like the attendants, things changed. I mean, we couldn't have someone present at all times. The security measures, like Frankie said, sometimes you have to disable them and say, hey, you know what? But I mean, the customers, at least, I think, were happy that they were able to just get out of the store, right, and take care of themselves. And I think a lot of customers, from my experience with self-checkouts, especially the millennials, right, they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to see anyone. So, during these times, they were fine. They were okay with checking themselves out. So.
Right. No, that's perfect. I mean, so it sounds like you guys are kind of all over the place. So, Frankie, it sounded like you guys actually tweaked the security settings that kind of ease up on interventions. Obviously, knowing that there's risks involved, right? Shrink there. And then Roseanne, I think just keeping the machines clean, right? Whenever I'm talking to a new grocer about self-checkout, they got to understand it's a customer-facing device, even prior to COVID-19.